Hello students, welcome to CMS online classes, and this video is for class 8 chapter number 16, and the name of the chapter is light. So in our previous video we talked about the source of light and the properties of light, characteristics of light, as well as a few part of reflection. Now in this chapter we will learn more about reflection. So first of all, what makes things visible? So light helps us to see objects. We cannot see object in the dark. An object becomes visible when light emits or reflected by it reaches our eye. As for example, if I have to see a thing, let's have an example of a bulb. Okay, the light is reflected on the bulb and we can see the light. We can see the bulb. Okay, that means we can see the emitted light. We can see the bulb also because it is emitting the light, and we can see the non-luminous object, the battery, because it is reflecting the light. So we can see both. Okay, so it's not that only due to reflection only we can see light. The object which are luminous, we can see that. Apart from that, in non-luminous object, when light falls on the non-luminous object and when it reflects back to our eye, we can see that thing also. So reflection of light. So when light falls on a polished or shiny surface, we can take an example of a plane mirror. It changes its direction, and this is called reflection of light. As for example, we have a material here and a luminous object, that is a torch. When it is switched on, we can see that object. So we will discuss more of it in a more easier way. So the ray of light which strikes the surface is called the incident ray, and the ray which comes back after reflection is called the reflected ray. That means incident ray, when it is reflected on a surface, plane mirror, it is reflected, and the line perpendicular to it is called a normal ray, and the angle between the normal and the incident ray is called the angle of incidence, angle I, and the angle between the normal and the reflected ray is called the angle of reflection. That means angle R. The angle of incident is always equal to the angle of incident in case of plane mirror. But if the plane mirror is not plane, these angles are not equal. That means the angle of incident and the angle of reflection may differ or may change. The angle never comes equal. Okay, so laws of reflection of light. So the laws of reflection of light are: the angle of incident is equal to the angle of reflection. It is a law. It is always there. The incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal ray at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. That means same plane means in a mirror. The plane is a normal mirror or a smooth surface, and the angle from them are always equal, and the point of incident is the same. So here a light is passed at a 20-degree angle, and that light is reflected in a 20-degree angle only. So here we can see that if the light falls on 50 degree, then the incident ray and the reflected light will also fall on the 50 degree. Okay, so this proves that the incident ray and the reflected ray is always at an equal but the same angle. Now let's move forward, learn more about reflection. So first of all, what makes things visible? So light helps us to see objects. We cannot see object in the dark. An object becomes visible when light emits or reflected by it reaches our eye. As for example, if I have to see a thing, let's have an example of a bulb. Okay, the light is reflected on the bulb and we can see the light. Sorry, we can see the bulb. Okay, that means we can see the emitted light. We can see the bulb also because it is emitting the light, and we can see the non-luminous object, the battery, because it is reflecting the light. So we can see both. Okay, so it's not that only due to reflection only we can see light. The object which are luminous, we can see that. Apart from that, in non-luminous object, when light falls on the non-luminous object and when it reflects back to our eye, we can see that thing also. So image formed by a plane mirror. Let's talk about image formed by a plane mirror. What type of image a plane mirror forms? The image is erect. Erect means it's always up, straight. The image is of the same size as the object. That means if the height of the image is 2 meters, then the image formed is also of the same size. It is not that in a plane mirror, if you stand, you will look yourself longer. It's not that, or a shorter. Okay, whatever the size, whatever you have size, whatever the size of your body, it will appear same. Third one, the image at the same distance from the mirror as the object is in front of it. That means if you stand 1 meter away from the mirror, and the image found will be 1 meter far from the mirror. That means it's not that the image what you will see will appear close in case of plane mirror, but in case of concave and convex mirror it may differ. Okay. Fourth one, the image is virtual, cannot be obtained on a screen. So what do you mean by virtual image? Virtual means it is not real. As for example, if you stand in front of a mirror, you will see the image of yourself in the mirror. But is that image inside the mirror is real? Is that an object real? No. It's not real. It's virtual. Virtual means only your perceptions are there. That means you will see the image there. It's not real in case of plane mirror. But in case of concave and convex mirror, it can differ. It can be virtual also, it can be real also, depending upon where the object has been placed. If the object is far away from the convex mirror, what you will see? A concave mirror. You will see the image is real. And if the image is if the object is nearer to mirror, then you will see the object is virtual. Okay, and the image is the fifth one. The image is laterally inverted. Laterally inverted means, what do you mean by laterally inverted? So if you stand in front of a mirror and raise your right hand, what you will see in that image? Which hand the image is raising, it will be of the left hand. Okay, or if you place your palm there, okay, you will see the finger which is on your right will appear in the image on the left, and so on. So you can say that the image formed by the plane mirror are laterally inverted, means opposite to you. Your left will be appeared right in the image, and your right portion will appear on the left of the image. Now let's talk about multiple images formed by a mirror, especially plane mirror. So when two mirrors are kept inclined at an angle, they can together form multiple images. This is because the image formed by one mirror forms the object of the another mirror. As for example, when you go to the barber shop, okay, mostly the mirror that is placed is inclined at certain angles, and in front of you there is a mirror, and at the back side of you also there is a mirror, and you can see a multiple image as you can see in the figures. Okay, so there are, it's not that if it is kept in a certain angle it forms a number of image. Okay, so angle between mirrors, if it is kept at 45 degree, the number of image formed is 7. So at an angle of 45 degree, if a mirror is kept at an angle of 45 degree, the number of image formed is 7. If it is kept at 60 degree, it will reduce. Number of image will be 5. At 90 degree, the number of images will be 3. At 120 degree, the number of images will be 2. And at 180 degree, the number of images will be 1. But if it is parallel to each other, means if it is kept at 0 degree, that means infinite number of images can be seen. As we can see in the 3 images, they are all kept parallel to each other at 0 degree, and the image that we can see are infinite. That means how far we can see, we will see the image. Okay, so this is how multiple images are formed. Now let's move towards kaleidoscope. So what do you mean by kaleidoscope? So it is a device used to see multiple image of object. Okay, so it has 3 inclined mirrors at an angle of 60 degree to each other. This arrangement is usually kept in a cylindrical box, okay, in a round box, and has a few pieces of colored glasses kept at one end. So what you will see, we can see beautiful patterns and designs due to multiple images formed by the mirrors. So it is mostly used or kept for designing purposes. As for example, in pubs or in party places, we use this kaleidoscope device so that it can form some multiple image. Or you can see, many of you can see it can be it has been installed in the bulbs also. Okay, bulb also, in a bulb it is made in a such a way that it reflects different types of images, means multiple images of the same color, and it changes according to when it rotates. So same cases in this also, not only multiple image, a simple image also can be formed by using a periscope. And periscope is the device which is used to see the image or the object which are on the surface, and that is mostly used by these submarines. As you all know, submarines are a type of what you can say, ship that is under the water. Okay, and if any objects, if they have to see, they use the periscope. Okay, which is at the surface of the sea or surface of water. So we can say that kaleidoscope is an device to see the multiple image of an object. Then we will move towards dispersion of light. What do you mean by dispersion of light? Dispersion of light means refraction of light. The light is refracted or dispersed, means displaced in other directions. So sunlight or white light is a mixture of 7 colors. That means the white light, it's not only one light, it's not true light or true color. It is a mixture of 7 colors. And the splitting up of sunlight or white light into its color is called dispersion of light. When it is splitted or dispersed, and that we call the dispersion of light. Simple example we can give of a rainbow. When we can see a rainbow, it is mostly seen during rainfall, a light rainfall. So at that time what happens? The light of the sun, when falls on the droplets of water, it disperses light into 7 colors. That's why we can see rainbows at some places. Okay, so when a beam of sunlight is passed through a glass prism, it is split into 7 rainbow colors. The colors are violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. Or we can say in a short form the first letter VIBGYOR, VIBGYOR. Okay, and this in rainbow, the water droplets act as a prism. Okay, as we can see in the figure, there is a prism which is of a rectangular shape and a beam of light. White light is passed through it. 7 colors is seen or 7 colors is dispersed. Okay, so rainbow is caused due to dispersion of sunlight by water drops in the atmosphere, and it is seen only for a few times only, because the ray of light must be fall on a water droplets at a correct place, otherwise it will not form a image or it will not produce a rainbow at that time. So this was all about dispersion of light.